with BibleStudyCam, and I'm BibleStudyCam, and I want to welcome you to this live stream event coming to you on Saturday morning, and I should have grabbed the date of this, Saturday morning, April 25th. And this morning, whether you're tuning in on Twitter or Periscope at BibleStudyCam, whether you're on Facebook.com/reflective Bible study, whether you're on YouTube at the Online Preacher, or even at the onlinepreacher.com/live, wherever you happen to be tuning in, whether this is live or on replay, I want to welcome you to this Saturday morning Bible study insight. And this morning, we're going to be looking at Matthew chapter 18, verses 19 and 20, and focusing in on a little promise that Jesus gives that's kind of tucked within a much bigger discussion, you could say, about conflict resolution or community, or there's a bunch of different things. Forgiveness would be another one, because immediately after Jesus deals with teaching his followers about conflict resolution, and right before Peter asks Jesus, hey, about that conflict resolution, how often should I forgive somebody who hurts me? Right tucked between those two big points, we have verses 19 and 20 that has a surprising, powerful, and amazing promise that is incredibly applicable to our lives today. So with that said, let's dive in. Let's read these two verses and unpack what we can learn from Jesus' teaching. So this is Matthew chapter 18, and I'm going to read it from the God's Word translation. Verse 19, I can guarantee again that if two of you agree on anything here on earth, my Father in heaven will accept it. Where two or three have come together in my name, I am there among them. Now this promise is powerful because both today and tomorrow there will be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people coming together in Jesus' name. But unlike what may have been the case months or maybe even years ago, those who are coming together in Jesus' name now are oftentimes confined to groups of 2, 3, 4, you could say family units. And it's powerful because I suspect that Jesus challenged his followers with this promise, perhaps for a time such as this, or for a time when the church would have to go underground and not meet publicly, not meet in large groups. And Jesus, knowing that a time like that would happen, there's been several times throughout history that it's happened, and knowing that times like that would happen, Jesus promises that the smallest possible groups and communities that can come together, whether 2 or 3 are gathered, Jesus promises to be there with them. And that is powerful because it applies to our world today. It applies for our life today. And as we are in this crazy shutdown situation, I know many people might be interested, or they might desire to have things go back to the way that they were several months ago. Go back to yesterday. Let's get life back to normal. But part of me wants to push back at that, because while this crisis is a crisis, while people are dying, another way to look at this event, at this world today, at this situation, is that it's a gift from God. A gift that might be designed to kick us out of being complacent, kick us out of being apathetic, kick us out of the routine that we had been so accustomed to. And the challenge that we can take from this, the great thing that we can learn from what we're experiencing right now, is perhaps how to take this situation, learning from what we had done in the past, but instead of trying to go back to yesterday, make tomorrow better than yesterday with what we learn today. Now that's challenging. That's challenging. Well, this is a teaching in a much larger passage about dispute resolution, which oddly enough might be a little bit more tricky, or it could be even easier, you might say, probably less successful in a situation where we're all separated. But why don't we take this time? Why don't we take the days of this weekend, the days that we experience rest, the days where we usually dedicate to focusing on God, why don't we take these days this weekend to focus on Jesus and on how we can use what is going on in our own lives right now and how we can take that and transform our lives to make tomorrow better than yesterday. And taking and making tomorrow and our relationship with God, both today and tomorrow, better than what it was yesterday. And it starts by gathering together. You could say in a family group or a family unit or just a small group where 2 or 3 are gathered. There'll be hundreds or thousands of little 2 or 3 unit gatherings today, and let's together in your 2-group gathering or small gathering and in my gathering, let's invite God to be with us and to help us move forward with Him. So that's what I wanted to share with you this morning as we focus again and keep our perspectives looking beyond the craziness of this world today and on to eternity as we together step forward with Jesus, focusing on what God has prepared for us when Jesus returns. Now that's just some thoughts, and I want to thank you for tuning in at Twitter or Periscope at BibleStudyCam, Facebook.com/Reflective Bible Study, YouTube at The Online Preacher. Wherever you're tuning in, I want to thank you for tuning in. And if something in this passage, in this message, resonated with you and you know of somebody who would benefit from it, I invite you to share it with them. And if I missed something or you want to draw our attention to something, jump into any one of the chat areas. I know that the Periscope chat area will shut down once this live stream shuts down. But whether you're on YouTube or on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you happen to see a chat box after this video, jump in and let's keep the conversation going as we stay connected digitally. We can stay connected digitally in a much bigger group, but as we stay connected together in community, but also focusing together on Jesus, on what He's done for us in our past, and what He's doing for us, preparing for our future. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at about this time, 7:15 Mountain Time, as we dive into another passage and keeping our perspectives past today and on to eternity. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you then.